Never thought I'll end up like this. No one even cares if you exist. I gambled with life, I've been under the knife. Emotionless, thoughtless, money became less and less. The more I gambled, the further away I was with family. This hurt and it should not have been. Every type card I filled out, every card I maxed out, every bit of money I lost, every line that I crossed. I should have known better to lose the ones that I loved the most. My girlfriend for over a year now has told me that I'm going to be a dad, the greatest news I can ever hear. Now it's time to toughen up and work on a budget for the baby. When I started doing the budget, I did my gambling profits and my gambling losses. Turns out that my gambling losses is 34%, and compared to everything else, it seems to be that gambling rules over everything, and that little piece there is just what I get in profit. I don't want to keep on gambling now because I need to save for the baby. I don't want to end up like this in jail for stealing, trying to protect my baby. So I thought it was time to control my gambling and go see a counsellor.
At the end of the day, it's a person's choice to gamble. You know, some of them have impaired function around that choice. Some of them have developed a coping mechanism to the point where it's no longer a conscious choice. But coming in and getting that information, having a first session, starting to talk about it, you know, they've made a choice to try and do something about that.
Depressed, angry, abandoned by friends and family, stealing, no one ever knows your problem, lonely, unforgiven, addicted. The first big win was huge, the next big thing was losing everything. Lying, alone, deceptive, depression keeps crawling up on me, dark and alone, no way out with no light, the search begins to recover.
there needs to be a lot more done around public education and raising awareness of the issue in the first place, because there's a lot of people that have problematic gambling or gambling at a not at risk nature. That because problem gambling isn't sort of up there like we talked about with drugs, alcohol, that sort of thing, that people aren't aware that they're even starting to develop a problem. So it's normally after the problem's developed, when they've hit a crisis point in their life, that's when those messages become effective.
I came home from the meeting just about 2 hours ago, and it was very interesting, very sad, very different. I kind of walked in there feeling confident. I felt like I expressed my opinions or whatever, and like, not to be cocky or anything, but like I kind of felt like it would have been like my problem was worse than theirs. Stupidly, I know, but that's how I felt. So I walked in there, didn't know what to expect, but yeah, it was interesting. Everyone was nice, and then we started sitting down. I introduced myself, just told them bits and pieces about my childhood, about my girlfriend and how she's pregnant and how I want to change for her. And yeah, and then other people started sharing their stories, and that really was really sad. Like, they said like their gambling, like they lost their family for it, and that's really touched me, because I don't want to lose my family. My kid's on the way in August, sorry, and yeah, I don't want to start gambling or lose my girlfriend and my child. So that was really hard for me to listen to, because gambling's always been part of me, and listening to those stories, just one in particular that really touched me was the one that lost a family, and now he has to pay for it the rest of his life, and he can't go back.
So, at the moment there's some moves to look at, gaming machines and all that sort of thing. But the more difficult they make it for people to gamble in person, the more they're actually pushing people to online forms of gambling, which means they're opening them up to unregulated websites. There, with casinos, offline casinos over the web, offline sports betting over the web. Once people start finding sources on there, it's pretty easy to, before you know it, you're on unscrupulous websites that aren't even Australian, that don't even have the few regulations that Australian ones need. So it's a huge minefield, and again, this is where the funding needs to go, where we need to start looking at tackling with online issues and that sort of thing.
Hi, just my final thoughts on my documentary. I guess I learned a lot from this through like the meetings with the guidance counsellor and also the actual general anonymous meeting, gamblers meeting, and I've really learned a lot. And it actually taught me to grow up a little, be who I am, and which is a strong person, which I know I can be, and be responsible for my baby and for my girlfriend and my family and friends. And I really want to go back and just be more mature and be that person that I know I can be. And thank you to all the people that helped out. And my name's Daniel, and I'm a recovering gambler.